Hello, welcome to day one. The first classic film I'll be creating Rex for is Casablanca. So if you like Casablanca, I think you'll like our first film, Berlin Express. It's a post-World War II film noir directed by the master of shadows, Jacques Tourneur, or Tourneur. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce it. I've been told both by both classic fans and casual viewers. It follows a group of passengers on a train to Berlin. Each protagonist is a different nationality. An American, played by Robert Ryan, a Brit, a Russian, and a German. Also on the train is a doctor, played by Paul Lucas, and his daughter, played by Merle Oberon. The doctor is pivotal for the post-war plans to help mend Europe back together. But shortly after arriving in Berlin, the doctor is kidnapped. Now it's up to the passengers from these different countries to come together to search for the doctor in the ruins of Berlin. This was one of the first movies filmed in Berlin after the Second World War. Because of that, it has a very unique look when compared to other films of this era. Not only is there a sense of realism, but there's a sense of savagery too. It feels less like a city and more like a jungle. I never get a sense that there's a safe space in this environment. That heightens the tension as our heroes explore further and further into the underworld. It gets even better during the night scenes. This darkness doesn't look artificial. It looks like documentary footage from the time. It's grainy, grimy, and so hauntingly somber that you can't help but stare at it. Many sequences have a brisk pace that keeps the film invigorating. I do want to clarify that there were some scenes shot on sets, but they do such a good job matching the style of the real setting that you forget they're sets. And I will say, the mystery element I think is one of the best parts of the film. Watching everything unfold is stellar. Not only does the setting feel real, but the characters do too. From our leads to our side characters, everyone feels like a real person. We have lots of minor characters that are just doing their best to trek through the rubble every day and find some sort of salvation. Some more positive, and others more cutthroat. And I won't say too much about this aspect, but there are Nazis in the film, and they're very foreboding. They really enforce the idea that people die, but ideas don't. Robert Ryan and Merle Oberon have a romance that works okay. What makes their romance interesting is the setting and the experiences that affected them deeply during the war. Another element that helps the film stand out is the conflict between the characters. Since they're all different nationalities, they all start out with assumptions about one another, and often try to cut each other down. This comes up quite a bit and causes them to get in each other's way of achieving their shared goal. That can sound annoying, but the writers took great care to make these characters multifaceted, so it makes the conflict more intriguing rather than annoying. We've all had those situations where we've been partnered with someone we don't get along with for a class project. But you do your best to find some common ground so you can reach your goal. Here, it's similar. I will say, I think that Ryan and Oberon are easily the best actors of the bunch, but I love the dynamic between Ryan and the Russian soldier, played by Roman Toparo. They're obviously meant to symbolize the post-war rivalry between the Soviet Union and the United States, but it's not just them butting heads the whole time. Their relationship wasn't meant to symbolize the future conflict, it's more of a symbol of hope for peace. It was obvious there was a rivalry bubbling over, and many were hoping nothing would transpire from it. Eddie Muller from TCM described the ending as hopeful, and I think that's the best way to describe it. This in particular is what reminded me of Casablanca. The film has a hopeful outlook, specifically on the rest of the war. So check out Berlin Express for its hopeful outlook, diverse character group, romance, and World War II backdrop full of espionage and intrigue.